Hey guys, today for Foodie Friday, we're making electric pressure cooker beef and cabbage, all while having a whole lot of fun. This is going to go in our regular Mississippi rotation, I can tell you that now. Hey guys, welcome back to my camper kitchen. I am Cris from recipes.crock.com, and today we are making a yummy new recipe that we have out on the blog today. And that is Mississippi beef and cabbage. Now this came about because we had a reader or a Crock Posse member ask Mikey about recipes, low carb recipes you could possibly make, I believe, with like stew meat or cubed beef that you can find, not like cubed steak, but like stew meat. And so what we decided to do is, or what Mikey came up with rather, was an idea of, hey, what if you did a Mississippi style beef and cabbage? And I'm like, that is very interesting. I'm not sure how that would work, so I've tested it out several different ways and I found a way that works the best for us. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 rounds of pressure cooking, but because the pot will get hot from the first round, it won't take the second round as long to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook our beef Mississippi style in our electric pressure cooker for 15 minutes, quick release. Then we're going to throw our cabbage in and let it go for 8 minutes like we normally would with our cabbage. Quick release again, and then we're going to have some total yumminess. Now, this dish could be served up like a soup because the broth is definitely that Mississippi yumminess, or if you would rather it be more of like a main dish kind of thing, you could serve it with a slotted spoon and it would be cabbage with the yummy beef chunks in it. So what I'm starting out with is between 2 and 3 pounds of stew meat down in my electric pressure cooker pot, and to that I am going to add a cup of beef broth. If you are using a larger, like an 8-quart model of an Instant Pot or a Foodi, then you might want to add a cup and a half to get enough liquid in there to begin with. But we will see. I mean, we're going to add other liquid because my pepperoncini jar is almost empty here. And so I'm just going to pour that juice in. That's a total optional thing. If you don't like spiciness, or you think that your pepperoncinis are a little too spicy for your taste, you probably don't want to add your juice. But I wanted to add the juice of that just to add to the flavorfulness of this dish. So that gets me to that extra level. I'm also going to add just a few more pepperoncinis because that one had, or actually I'm adding banana peppers because the store did not have pepperoncinis the other day, so we kind of use that as a substitute. I don't know the difference. They kind of taste the same to me. If you know the difference, comment down below. We like to use the slices. If you prefer, you can use the whole ones if you want to pick them out at the end, but my family likes to eat them, so we use the slices. So to recap, we've got 3 pounds of beef, a cup of beef broth, about a half cup of pepperoncini juice, and then probably about a half cup of pepperoncinis themselves tossed in there. Now we're going to stir in the au jus gravy packet. Low carbers will know we prefer to use the au jus gravy because it has less carbs in it. And after I get that stirred in, I'm going to stir in a ranch packet seasoning. Depending on where you live and who's packaging your ranch packets, different ones have different carb counts. So low carbers, if you're comfortable with using packets, you definitely want to check those carb counts. But so what I'm going to do, I have forgotten to show you, is I'm going to just stir all this in here. Now, one of the questions I know I'm going to get is, why didn't I brown the beef before doing all this? Because a lot of times people really like to brown stew meat. Here's the deal. You can totally do that, and if you want to take that step, go for it. Put some olive oil in there and brown it. I'm looking for a quick recipe to toss together and I'm going to pressure cook the heck out of it, so it's going to be fall apart tender, so I didn't really want to take the time to do that extra step, but you guys can. To all of this, we're going to add a stick of butter, and I'm going to put the lid on, pop it to seal, and I am going to put this under pressure for 15 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to get that started, and meanwhile, while that is going on, I'm going to take this small head of cabbage and I'm going to chop it up so into just a little bit bigger than bite-sized pieces, because if I'm going to pressure cook, I know that pressure cooking is a little hard on cabbage, which is part of the reason why I'm not putting it under for 15 minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this into bigger than bite-sized pieces and have it all chopped up and ready for when this comes down. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook this under pressure, high pressure for 15 minutes, quick release, get that lid off, and then I'll see you back here in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. It has been 15 minutes under high pressure. And I did a quick release and the pin just dropped, so we're going to go ahead and open this up and take a peek inside. It's probably going to steam up the camera. So there you have Mississippi beef, stew beef, right? And it's nice and yummy, and we're going to stir it up. And now all we're going to do is add our chopped cabbage. As you can see, technical difficulty. Now I'm going to start again. Sorry, my card cut out on me, so now I'm back. So our stewed beef has cooked under high pressure for 15 minutes, and then I quick released it. There's tons of liquid down in there with the yummy Mississippi seasonings, and so now I'm going to add my small head of cabbage. And I'm just going to break it apart as I toss it in there. The pieces are a little bit bigger than bite size. It's not exact science. I just don't want tiny, tiny chopped cabbage down in there because I'm going to pressure cook it, and the pressure cooking will definitely make it super tender. So I don't want it to kind of disintegrate in there. So as you will be able to see here in a minute, the cabbage definitely fills up the pot. So what I'm going to want to do is just spread it out as much as possible. I can stir it for seasoning. It is going to, after it's done pressure cooking, it will cook way down. And so we're going to just put it under high pressure for 8 minutes and then quick release. And when we do that, we can stir it and it'll get all those yummy flavors. But the other thing I wanted to tell you is when you're doing a double pressure cooking kind of situation, sometimes your lid is going to be a little bit harder to get back on that second time. Of course, this time it was like the easiest time ever. But sometimes because it's all expanded a little bit, so you just kind of got to wiggle with it until it gets completely on there. Pop it to seal, high pressure, 8 minutes, quick release, and I'll see you back here in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. We put our cabbage in, and then we put it under for another 8 minutes and quick released, and now it is time to have our Mississippi beef and cabbage. Maybe if I can get it open there we go, which is a good thing because my family's like, I'm hungry. By family I mean my daughter. All right, so let's look in here. As you can see, the cabbage is on the top, and I'm just going to use a slotted spoon and stir things around to get everything nice and mixed up. Like I said, you can serve this as a soup if you want. I'm going to kind of do a hybrid, I think. I'm going to still serve it with a slotted spoon, but it's you can't see anything out of this camera because it's completely fogged up. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and serve it with a slotted spoon, but it's still got quite a bit of liquid throughout the whole thing. When you store the leftovers of this, you are definitely going to want to keep the liquids with it. It's just part of the yumminess. Okay, so let's grab some of this. Come see ya. One of my favorite parts of this dish is, well, one, you've got the Mississippi flavor. Two, this stew beef is fall apart tender. So let's see. So you can see it. It's very hot. Yummy. So the stew beef very much tastes a lot like a Mississippi pot roast. Okay? And then you're adding the cabbage to it to just give it a completely different dish, pretty much. It's just a little bit different. You don't have to make a side dish with it because it's all together. I keep trying to grab things and cool it off, but it's so tender, it keeps falling apart. There we go. Now that's gonna burn me. So, give me a second. If you love cabbage as much as my family does, this is a must. If you love Mississippi beef, this is a must. And if you love both, like, this is going to go in our regular Mississippi rotation. I can tell you that now. This is one that everybody in the family loves, and they didn't mind me testing it out. But if you like this video, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to click subscribe and become a member down below of our slow cooking, foodie loving, RV traveling family around here. If you would like notified every time we upload a video, click the ding-a-ling. That's the notification bell down below, and that will tell YouTube to let you know every time we upload a video. But whatever you do, we hope you laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye, guys. We are making electric pressure cooker Mississippi beef and cabbage, all while having a whole lot of fun. Need to do that again because I sound like I don't know what I'm making because I kind of forgot.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link.